Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Awards Watch Oscar podcast. This is Oscar podcast number 54. I am your host, Eric Anderson, and it's been a long time, people. It's been almost 2 months. I am upset and chagrined that it's taken this long to get back to podcasting, and I apologize deeply and profusely. This is going to be the the can post-mortem, and I have some special guests today. One, I have Júlia, who everybody knows and loves. Hello, Júlia.
Hi Eric, how are you?
I am doing very well today. And we also have David Acacia. Hello, David.
Hello. Hello.
That was dramatic, David. David is an Awards Watch member. He is also a member of the International Cinephile Society and just got back from the festival. I did not go this year. Sad face emoji. But Dave did, and he
Which is a shame because every year that you come, the best movie wins.
It is.
So
That is a yes, and so it might be
that only happened one year that I was there, and it happened to be the year that you were there too. So I'm not going to get it twisted and think I had anything to do with it.
Exactly. So I think I'm gonna have to look to next year to bring my good juju to the festival, because David has some thoughts on this year's festival. We all have some thoughts on the winners, but I want to shoot right over to Dave right now and preface it by saying there's a lot of people that have commented that this was a pretty lackluster year in terms of the actual films. A lot of the ultimate ratings of the films were like the lowest of the decade. They were pretty not well regarded, and there was major talent there, and there was certainly a lot of anticipation and excitement going in. So what was your take from that in terms of the reception of the movies and then your personal view?
Well, personally, when I saw the lineup, I knew it wasn't going to be for me right off the bat, but I expected to be surprised a lot more than I actually was, because there have been other years too that I didn't think that, oh, this is going to be a lackluster con for me, and then it wasn't, and I'm throwing up 4 Palme d'Ors to all those films for the ICS polls, and this year I gave 1. So yeah, no, it really seems like nobody came with their best work. There's a lot of good films. There were very few great ones, very few really bad ones, although there were a lot of what I think are bad films, but I also know that they just don't really line up with my personal taste, and not that we get to some subjective or a versus objective thing, but yeah, no, it did feel lackluster. And it seemed like every film was a little bit more divisive than usual. There was not one film that got great scores across the board, except for probably like the Campillo BPM.
Yes.
But everything, like people were giving it like top scores or zeros, like for the same film. So it was one of those kind of years where, yeah, different corners were feeling a certain way about different films. Like, look at a pitch it poll with like 2 films in the green this year.
I know.
In comp. So
that was so shocking, and especially what they were, the Good Time being one of the highest rated movies, and then going home empty handed at the awards. It's surprising. So yeah, I mean,
and also Hong Sang-soo, but like they always love him, and this is like the one that they loved the least recently.
Yeah, and again, something that didn't end up getting anything. I mean, I'm looking at the Apicha poll and Screen Daily and Polar polls and obviously the ICS too.
Yeah,
and what you said about divisiveness is most definitely evident in a handful of these grades, and I think the one that stands out the most for me is Happy End. I'm
Oh boy.
I am, I think anybody going into this festival looking for, awards contenders, they're gonna jump out and say, well, okay, we've got Wonderstruck and The Beguiled and Killing of a Sacred Deer and The Day After and Happy End. And then I look at the scores for Happy End, especially from you, and I'm just blown away. So I would really,
Yeah.
I'd like to. I haven't read your review, but I would like to kind of maybe just get.
Well, I didn't write the review for that one. Noir Joe did.
Oh,
Ioannis, from Greece.
Okay, all right.
So that, yeah, I wouldn't have had anything to write about because I don't think there was anything there. Like, there's one really good scene that Mark loved where she's very Michelle and Elle, and she's just like breaks. Oh, wait, maybe not spoilers, right?
Yeah, let's
we
try
don't-
not to do any spoilers at this point. I don't want to get in trouble.
Fair enough. But yeah, no, I just think, and it's funny to see when somebody really loves a certain director's output, just seeing all of the reaching and that people will do to try and make something seem more significant than it is, or
Yeah.
as if it's saying more than it actually is. And to me, that Happy End was the poster child for that practice.
It's kind of fascinating because the ICS members that I know, you and Mark and Cedric, are really the ones that are the most down on it. And then there's a couple.
Yeah.
I mean, like we said, divisive is certainly going to be, I think, the word that describes this festival. That there are some there's major love for the movie. Justin Chang loved it. Guy Lodge was pretty good on it. Nicholas Bell really liked it. It still has some 4-star reviews in the ICS poll. So I'm fascinated, and I'm terrified, and I'm saddened. I think, as excited as everyone got when Isabelle Huppert was moving toward the reality of an Oscar nomination, and then got it. So we're like, okay, now we're all looking to Happy End, to continue that for her, and this does not seem to be the case, nor for Haneke, for that matter.
No. Nor treating
Yeah.
or anyone, although some people really loved him in the film.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I don't really remember anything in it except for the beginning, which I was upset and chagrined by, and maybe I checked up a little too early because there's just some very Hanukkah-esque things, and I'm not as a fan of his as the average cinephile. So with like the exception of Taché, but so right off the bat, my back was arched.
Oh my
But
goodness.
Dave, how much
Yeah.
do you think this sort of bias that we see with critics, that sometimes they are more lenient with some filmmakers, how much do you think that played into Thierry Frémaux's selection? Because we see that most of the films that got the best reviews, say at the Poll of Polls, for instance, are not in the main competition, and they could have been.
Well, yeah, I mean the highest competing competition film was the Campillo, and it's like number 14 on the Poll of Polls, right?
Yep.
So
Yep.
I just
Exactly.
don't think that Thierry Frémaux. Sorry.
She said
What did you
exactly.
last say? I didn't hear.
She said exactly. She was just backing up what
Oh,
what you were saying.
Anyways, I just don't think Thierry Frémaux takes like a lot of risks, and he does play favorites, and of course he has to be mindful of like sponsors and red carpets. But this didn't even really feel like that much of a starry year either compared to other years. So it's like, why couldn't he have taken a chance? Or like, why not have Claire Denis in competition with, and so like that's Juliette Binoche, and it was like one of the most popular films of the festival, and she got some amazing, she being Juliette Binoche got amazing ink for that too. So like that one's just baffling to me. I didn't see it, but, yeah.
Yeah, it's really funny that 2 of the top 5 are TV shows.
Seriously,
Twin Peaks is number 1,
Twin
and Top
Peaks
of the
and
Lake
Top of the
was number 4.
Yeah.
And that's
and I didn't get to see either. I haven't watched the second season of Twin Peaks or Fire Walk with Me. And David Lynch said, if you haven't seen everything, don't bother coming. So I was like, okay, noted. Yeah. And obviously Top of the Lake was such a huge time commitment. So like 6 hours, long. Like talk about like occupying your day. I really tried to make the competition films a priority this year, and so I didn't get to see that. Although I did get to see every other Nicole Kidman project.
Well, I was going to say that could take up a majority of your time just right there because there were so many. But I do. I
know the most.
Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just going to say the longest film I've ever seen in Cannes was Norte: The End of History back in 2013, and that was 4 hours. And when I thought of like I had to miss like 2 films for that, and it like really complicated the schedule, like I really try to go with like standard like running times.
Oh, I know. I remember that really well.
Because also you want to write, you want to get something to eat, you want to get a few hours of sleep in the evening. Like it's really difficult to plan a festival schedule.
It really is, and especially this, I think more than any that I've ever experienced, and it's really kind of fun.
Oh, there were so many scheduling conflicts this year. Like Sunday was one of the most loaded days I've ever seen in the 5 years that I've gone. Because on Sunday in competition, we had Noah Baumbach, we had the Michel Hazanavicius. There was this special screening for How to Talk to Girls at Parties. That day, there was also I think there was Hong Sang-soo's Claire's Camera as well. There was the new Bruno Dumont film, Jeannette, like the musical Joan of Arc film. It did really well with a lot of highbrow critics. So I just picked 2 films, Nicole Kidman that day. And of course, I'm sure there were a lot of other films we're seeing too, but like that jumped out at me as a day that there were 5 things that I really wanted to see. So
yeah, that's just in the 2 years that I went, I kept running into that as well of trying to make a schedule that was realistic and humanly possible. It drives me crazy. But I was going to mention when we were looking at those top rated films and TV shows, as it turns out, that three of the top 5 or no 6 were female directed, and I think that's a pretty outstanding statistic. But as you both said, none of these were in competition.
Yeah.
And I understand not putting
really
television in competition, but still.
And one of the things that is frustrating about Thierry Frémaux is that he has a lot of biases. Like he never puts animated films in competition. He never puts documentaries in competition. And Agnès Varda's Visage Village was one of the best films that I've seen. And I'm really hoping that could be actually one of the Oscars too.
That's what I did in my write-up yesterday. I was looking at everything, and yeah, the Varda and JR documentary is by far the highest rated film looking at, I think it was Metacritic based. It has like a 95.
Yeah.
But she's never been
Stop.
someone.
I didn't realize.
Yeah, but it doesn't have a U.S. distributor. It would be the perfect time and opportunity for someone to do that. Even if it's like, Magnolia, which just had a huge success with I Am Not Your Negro. So I think they would be able to pull off this documentary and get it into real contention this year.
And can you imagine her on the campaign trail? I mean, I need this to happen.
I do too.
Just her walking around, bringing that two-toned wig wherever she goes, loving life. Yeah,
I adore her. I want it to happen.
Covering herself with stars. Oh. I need that to happen. It would be so cool. She's never been nominated for an Oscar, so now is the time, because we don't know, knock on wood, but we don't know. She's not going to be around forever, and she has this rave loved film that it would make a lot of sense to, and it's like something that is I think in the Oscars wheelhouse. Like, it's making them get a little bit more adventurous in like the past. Something like The Act of Killing getting nominated for an Oscar, like that shows that there's I think that shows there's a new audience in that committee.
Yeah, I think so too. And the documentary committee has probably seen the most change in recent history. So I think there's certainly potential. And poor thing is 89 years old. Come on. Mm-hmm. She's active. She can do it.
Yeah.
She's no Judi Dench. She's gonna fly over here and go down the red carpet.
It's not Judi Dench. It's Maggie Smith, who doesn't go anywhere. Judi Dench will campaign her ass off if she has to.
Oh, I don't know about that. I don't know.
Oh, she will. Doesn't she have a new whatever with that guy? Who I can't be bothered to remember the name.
Yeah.
Frears. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. It just came, the trailer, and
wait, what is it?
Victoria and Abdul. The trailer just came out today. I just did a quick. I did a quick profile on it. It's very Dench. We'll just say that it's very Dench.
Yeah.
So, let's move into a topic that kind of came up as a result of the jury press conference after it has really taken off and become quite viral, and that was Jessica Chastain's comments as a first-time juror, as a person, watching. What did she say? I watched 20 movies in 10 days for the first time. And her takeaway...
Oh, poor thing.
I know. Whatever, first world problems.
I know. I love how they always make it seem like it's such a huge, accomplishment that they did that. Where everyone who goes to film festivals is like, yeah, so...
Yeah.
I've seen double that in the same amount of time before.
But yes, this is not to drag Jessica Chastain. Because the comments that she made
for sure,
were very specific to the films that were in competition and the female characters and how the world views them. I'll read the quick blurb out loud because it's pretty short but it's very to the point. I can't really speak so much to female directors. I do believe if you have female storytelling, you also have more authentic female characters. This is the first time I've watched 20 films in 10 days, and I really love movies. And the one thing I took away from this experience is how the world views women from the female characters I saw represented. And it was quite disturbing to me, to be honest. And there are some exceptions, I will say, but for the most part I was surprised with the representation of female characters on screen. I do hope when we include more female storytellers of the women I recognize in my day-to-day life, ones that are proactive, have their own agencies, don't just react to men around them. They have their own point of view. And that hit a lot of buttons and a lot of triggers for a lot of people. And obviously, I want to get your firsthand take. You saw all of the in competition films.
I did.
And there's also I have some comments from Mark, ICS and AW member as well, about that. So, do you agree with Chastain that the female representation was maybe not what it could have been?
Oh, absolutely. That's part of the reason why I knew I wasn't going to enjoy this festival as much as I do most years, or certainly last year, which was an ace for like projects led by women. Like, it felt like half the films last year had a female lead. This year, like, the only one with like an absolute female lead was, I mean, probably the Diane Kruger Fatih Akin film In the Fade.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, like, everything else had like a co-lead, and some films just didn't even have like a major like female supporting character at all. And some of the ones that did, the female character in question wasn't probably what I imagined Jessica Chastain or any women would enjoy seeing.
I'm not going to put words in your mouth, but are you speaking maybe about the Francois Ozon film?
A little, but actually what I was thinking of is The Square, which won the Palme d'Or, and Elizabeth Moss's character. The problem is with The Square, it's so pure satire, and sometimes it's difficult to decipher where it's coming from, because it's like every scene is so loaded with like a conservative slant versus a liberal slant, and like showing how they like come together in a way that creates a lot of confusion and like miscommunication. And with Elizabeth Moss's character, she's in like 3 or 4 scenes, and they could really be interpreted so many ways, especially her second scene, which I'm not going to say what happens, but I just, the way that she acts seems to me like it could have been offset by an instance of casual misogyny. Mm-hmm. And then she starts to act in a way that seems like really crazy. But I think they're both in the wrong, and they're both a little crazy. But yeah, and then the next scene that she's in, it's really difficult, at least for me. And I saw it twice, because I saw it when it was in competition, and then I saw it a second time after, because now through the Palme ceremony. So
yeah.
But like that one was like, she was basically the major female support. This is a film that doesn't pass the Bechdel test, or I'm not sure how you pronounce it, because she's not able to like talk to another woman, conversation about something other than a man. So yeah. So yeah. So I imagine that Jessica Chastain was probably not one of the people who was voting for The Square for the Palme.
Yeah, I imagine so, and it sort of makes sense then.
Okay.
That Diane Kruger would win the Best Actress prize, because she is almost then by default one of the very few films that has a central female character,
an absolute female lead,
and yeah.
Plus, well, she has all the actressing in the world. What was that?
Nothing.
I'm sorry. I'm starting to have trouble hearing anything that you guys are saying.
I know you're kind of going in and out too. I'm wondering if your connection is kind of ratchet right now. But we were just kind of giggling because I mean, all I've seen is the trailer for In the Fade, and every bit of it is just like awards actressing 101.
Yes.
Yeah. It like every essential component of actress like doesn't miss any of it. It's really amazing. Like everything happens. It's so good. Except that I'm not sure that it's actually good, but damn it, it's entertaining. It's great. And after a festival full of this came on the second last day, and in a festival that was full of these dour, bleak films, my body just really, really needed it. It was so much fun, even though, like I said, I don't think it was very good. I really just needed that day. And then afterwards was the François Ozon film, La Monde Double. So that was really, really a godsend. Really disappointing too, and that's one of the reasons I wasn't going to enjoy this year. Because what are y'all laughing at? Can you hear anything?
Yes.
Yeah.
We can hear it.
That's why we are laughing.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Do you want to know why I am laughing? I'm laughing because
no, and that's
Go ahead, Julia.
Okay, I'm laughing because I think that what you are describing is the kind of thing that would unite awards watch if it weren't for Nicole Kidman.
yeah.
That's why I'm laughing.
It also makes me think that's exactly what Jessica Chastain was thinking too. That she was like, what the fuck is going on at this festival? Why am I not seeing strong women? And then she gets to see, this revenge tale full of actressing on the second to last day. And you have to know that she's like calling up her agent going, I need the English language remake of this and I need it right now.
Oh, yeah.
And, so it's
Need Oscar for whatever famous actress plays this role.
something.
Like it is everything. It is Nazis. It is bombings. It is screaming, shouting. It has depression. It has suicide attempts. It has just the whole gamut of actressing. Everything you could imagine.
Okay, so then how is that like not the greatest movie ever made?
Oh my gosh. Even the courtroom scenes, courtroom scenes in every movie are the exact same and really dry and really, really boring. But here, oh boy, she gets actressing there too. It's great.
Wow. Okay, then I can't wait to see it. Well, speaking of that, let's
Yeah, it's the kind of film that I would say just go in with an open mind and have fun, even though like a lot of the ideas are in the film are a little undercooked or problematic or just straight up messy. Just have some fun with it because it's all the ingredients for a good time, at least when you have the camp sensibility that we have. So
That's true.
I really look forward to it.
I do too. It's just, it doesn't have a US release yet, and it's even not even debuting in its native Germany until after the eligibility cutoff for the Oscars. So unless they move it, it's got no chance there either. Which
I don't really see it being an Oscar player, even with all that actressing, just because she's not famous enough. There's lack of distributor, and it's not. I don't think she would be a critic's darling, because even though she did get some raves for her film, like critics don't vote for her and say like your movie too, because they're not.
yeah, I'm not thinking much is going to happen.
Don't want to separate the two.
But I don't know, maybe the Globes.
I could see the Globes doing that because I could totally see Diane Kruger just greasing every palm of that committee.
Oh, I could see her getting a Globe nom for.
Dave, you're totally cutting out. Dave, you're totally cutting out. Dave.
Are you
Stop
there,
talking,
Dave?
Dave. Your connection is horrible. I can't even hear you. All I hear is like,
Like completely.
like that was terrible. I didn't hear anything.
Yeah.
Oh my god, this is
It's like you were in a scene from Twin Peaks.
Oh,
it is
get
like Twin
close.
Peaks.
That's how it is.
Oh,
Oh my god, this is tragic, David. Acacia.
David is
Am
sending us
I-
predictions from the Black Log.
Yes, that is true. It sounds like Dave is in the Black Lodge right now.
okay, still bad. See if I got a modem. It's like
That's
a flight board.
that's a little
Just
better.
a second.
Did you say a modem? Like what? Like 56K dial-up or something? Because that's what it sounds like. It's tragic.
How is this?
It's a little better. Let's see. We'll just
A
test.
little better? Okay, because I actually plugged my computer right into it.
Okay, that is better.
It's a little better, yeah.
It
for
is.
Sure.
Yeah. I don't know what you were doing. It was
Okay,
like
good.
it was like in the ether. It was tragic. I couldn't hear like half what you were saying, and I really want to hear everything that you're saying.
Oh,
Especially
yeah.
the shades.
Yes. So we just kind of started talking a little bit about, Oscar talk, and obviously, that's got to be where we're going to go from this. But, in looking at this list, it doesn't feel like we're going to get too much Oscar traction from a lot of things. And that has sort of been the case, I think,
Foreign
for a
language,
few
though.
years. Yes, yeah, and we'll get to
Yeah.
get to foreign language in a minute, because also you have to consider release dates and all of that. Because I think going in, I think most of us, following this, were like, okay, Wonderstruck, that's the big contender here, and it was the first or second day? It was the second day, right?
It was the first day of competition.
It was the first day of
the day
competition.
after opening night.
That's right.
Yeah.
And it's got good reviews, but they're not Carol level reviews. And
But what would ever be Carol level reviews?
I don't know.
I mean, that was like, how do you top like a...
Okay,
Sorry?
you're going away again, David.
Are you still having trouble hearing me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Just that part was really
This is
sad.
ridiculous.
It was sad.
And now, how about now?
That sound. Wow. That sounds good, Gia Gunn.
Okay.
Oh Lord.
Okay, but anyway, so all right, let's back to Wonderstruck, because you actually really liked it. You gave it 4 stars.
I loved it. It was my second favorite film in competition.
Like
I almost feel like I should have raised it to a Palme level, just because there wasn't anything wrong with it for me. I loved like every minute of it. I cried like a baby the entire time. It was great. It's so good. It's so creative, inventive. Todd Haynes is a genius, as we all know.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like a hair below Carol for me. And it's funny that like again, this coldness that seems to keep striking with him with films that seem to be incredibly emotional. So I just don't get it. There's some disconnect between how these straight male cisgender film critics see the world.
Yeah, I do.
And white. Did I forget white?
No, but that is a factor. I think that's again, getting back to that Cannes sometimes is not the best kickoff festival for films outside of foreign language films. Wonderstruck might have done better just to wait until fall and do Venice, Telluride, and that instead. Which I'm sure it's gonna at least do Telluride. It's gonna do some fall festivals.
The tip shade. I love it.
Yeah, no, it's got a late October release. It's a great release date, but it's going to need to recoup, I think, some perception during that time, rather than being able to kind of sail into the fall, as with any type of front runner status. Because right now,
with Wonderstruck in particular, it makes total sense to think Khan would work.
I guess, but the things that I read from the reviews more often than not was that the material itself just kind of got away from him. It's like his first PG movie. It's got kids in it. It's very unlike anything that he normally does. And I don't know if that is sort of like what we were talking about earlier too, if that is the perception of a director from, critics and from audiences of what they should be versus what they can do. I don't know. It's unfortunate that he's kind of getting maligned for doing something a little outside of his wheelhouse, when on the other side of that, when people
imagination, to be honest.
Yeah, when directors do kind of the same thing over and over, they get shit for that too. So it's almost a no-win situation.
Yeah.
So,
and I actually think that this reception is not a funeral march for it. I think that this could be good for the film ultimately, because I think if a film, if you premiere as early as can and you have huge raves, Carol, it could probably hurt you down the road too, if like all these expectations are so great and then you're underwhelmed. If you hear that, oh, it's good, not great, but you're gonna really like it, and then you go in and you have expectations, I think there's a lot more room to be impressed. I also think that this is a film that will play better with a mainstream US film critic crowd, so I expect its reviews to improve a bit once it hits the States, and I think that there's still a lot of room in the game.
I think that's an excellent point. I think that is a really, really good point, because this would be very early for something to have to keep up a standard
have to maintain that momentum.
Mm-hmm. That's
here it's been seen early. Because right now this basically solidified it as a huge tech potential juggernaut, and then maybe a Best Picture nom. But from this, I feel like now it's going to be seen because people like the crafts people are going to see it. But I feel like there's more room for it to be a really solid contender for this niche, and then maybe improve and build more momentum, earn support, earn passion as things progress. I still think that there's a lot of different paths for this film that it could go, but they're gonna need to keep on top of their campaign.
Yeah.
And if it does break through, I mean, we should always keep in mind that Best Director lately loves directors who work with kids. So here's hoping.
Yeah, Lenny Abrahamson. With Room.
Garth Davis almost made it.
The guy from Beast from Southern Wild.
Yes, Ben Zeitlin.
His name?
Yeah.
Yes, Ben Zeitlin.
Yes. I think I think there's also a very realistic, if not totally obvious, chance that the film will be Haynes's highest grossing film too. And that's gonna
definitely.
That's gonna be a lot. That's going to
this is a movie you can take your kids to. This is a movie you can take your kids to, and that's what it's for.
I would take my kids to.
I would don't want to see.
I would take my kids to Carol. Come on. I would.
This is my best mama ever.
Betty, they're lesbians.
And I do think that this is very accessible in an Oscar kind of way, because it's cute kids. It's emotional.
I think it's great looking.
It's artistic. It spans different
Okay, you're fading out again, David.
It's it has a lot of potential. Especially I know that there's going to be a bunch of things that are going to fail, and all this is just
True.
Okay.
There will be a lot of failure as we see every year.
How about now?
That sounds good.
Yes.
Let's talk about two movies that that have U.S. distribution from good studios and won awards, and that is The Killing of a Sacred Deer and The Beguiled. Let's start with Sacred Deer, which tied.
I see what you did there.
What?
I see what you did there, girl.
I don't know what you're talking about. Sacred Deer from Yorgos Lanthimos tied Lynn Ramsey for the screenplay win, and I'm kind of.
That was so weird.
It was.
I
think it was
so
unnecessary
weird because. Oh, definitely. Because Sacred Deer is like the epitome of what a screenplay winner you would. And the Lynn Ramsey film, I'm not sure that it had a screenplay. I think that she was writing it writing it every night during shooting as she was going along, and it has a lot of things that just seemed like really themes that were really random. Like he has all of these things in his history that don't seem, at least to me, to relate to the narrative that much, and it just seems like just an opportunity for her to try to actually write a little bit more for a film that's mostly like a mood piece. So
I'm wonder if there's going to be a different edit of the film,
and
by the time it comes out.
I mean, didn't she say she hadn't finished editing it by the time she screened it at Cannes?
Yeah, no, they were still working on the film during the festival. It wasn't finished. It wasn't finished when it was announced, and it was still being edited.
I heard that she didn't finish it until the night before.
Yeah, so
until the night before premiered the second last day is when it played the critics.
Yeah, and I think that's why it was that late, and it's only 85 minutes long. So I'm guessing that there's going to be a different edit of it, because it kind of that happens. Amazon has the film, but they don't have their theatrical distribution for it out yet. Although I imagine it will be roadside again. They've done really well with them. But I'm betting that that's going to happen. That there's going to be a very different edit of it by the time it is released theatrically. But anyway, back to Killing of a Sacred Deer, because that's what we were talking about. So Yorgos Lanthimos just Oscar nominated this year for The Lobster, so he's definitely in their thoughts right now. So I feel pretty good about the film having A24 behind it, and having a November 3rd release date. We've got Nicole Kidman, who is having probably a better job year than anybody working in Hollywood right now. So everything feels like it's moving positively. It's got an 86 on Metacritic. It has a lot going for it. What do you think, Dave? You gave it 4 stars. You liked it a lot.
I liked it a lot. It was my number 3 of the competition.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that, because I hated The Lobster. But here, all the Lanthimosisms were dialed back enough that I was a little bit. There was room for me to be impressed by this one. I thought I hated it at first. And then I was like, no, this is actually really, really good. I really like this. I like that it has like this operatic gravitas that his other films didn't have to me. And of course, it helps to have Nicole Kidman in your film. When you give her a part that good with that much to do. And dear Lord, I don't mean to objectify the woman, but she has never... body is slamming in this movie. There is nudity, and I was living.
Oh my God.
She looks better than she did in Big Little Lies, to be honest.
Wow.
Ooh.
I am very excited. I'm very excited. That's very cool. Do you think that it's? Do you think that it's
as the Lord intended it?
Yes. Do you think it's his then most accessible film? That's kind of what it sounds like.
Yes, in a way. Like it's still very weird.
Mm-hmm.
It's still very quirky. I don't think it's as quirky or is as high on its own cleverness as The Lobster was.
Yeah.
And with this, I think that. Oh, I just lost my train of thought. With this film, like it's so impressively written that I think that people are going to enjoy that. It's really funny as well. Oh yeah, whatever. Unlike The Lobster, I don't think it deflates in the second act. Like I think that it maintains its momentum a lot better, and that helped make it a much better film. So, and like this is again, it's just my opinion. Everyone loved The Lobster, but I didn't, and I love this. So for me, it's difficult to see how people, if they had already been impressed by The Lobster and were throwing it all this screenplay awards and nomination, how this wouldn't get it as well. So
yeah, that's why my eye is on this almost more than anything right now. I'm really looking forward to it just personally, but I'm definitely looking to it as a potential big contender. So
I think it could be. I think it has a lot of potential. I think it has potential for like picture, director, actor nominations, supporting actress for Nicole Kidman if they push her there, screenplay. I would even really love a cinematography nomination to happen because it's the setting is a little bit and it's just honed into hostile, but it's shot so beautifully. And my magazine's on AW and stuff, like where Nicole Kidman is in front of her house at night, watering the garden with the cigarette in her hand. Oh, love that.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited for it as well. So the
Lobster, or sorry, breakout and do well. So
yeah, the other,
and I think that critics like it.
Good, I hope so. They do right now, so it just has to maintain that.
Yes.
So what about the Beguiled, which is the other Nicole Kidman in competition film? You what did you give?
I gave it a 3.5.
3.5. Okay. And Sofia Coppola won the director award at the festival. Only the second woman ever in the 70 years of the festival. The first.
And the last one was what, in the 60s?
1961.
Like...
56 fucking years. Like, come on, people.
Yeah.
Seriously. But
okay, first of all,
and I think she deserves it, and I think it's.
Do you think, is there any truth to the fact that allegedly the jury wanted to give Lim Ramsey Best Director as well, and when told they couldn't, they gave Best Director to Coppola? That's a rumor.
I would believe it. Although I don't. Somebody brought this up already, but I don't see if they thought it was the best written and directed film. Why wouldn't they just give it the Palme?
That's what I was thinking.
Like that's an easy thing to say. a nine-person jury. It's so difficult to reach consensus. And I actually think that this square is actually not a passion pick winner. Like, everyone was expecting 120 beats per minute to win that Palme.
Everybody.
And then it won second place. And it's so not the prototype of a Grand Prix winner, because Grand Prix winners are never this quote unquote safe. Like this is a film that is narratively very strong, very emotional, very rousing, but it's also and it does have some really inspired moments of direction, but it just doesn't feel like one of those divisive, really challenging films that wins the Grand Prix, but it still did win that. So what I'm guessing happened is that this jury voted mostly as an anti-Campillo vote, because they knew that it was going to win if they didn't solidify. And I don't think that they were able to decide on what they were going to end up the square, and then it ended up winning. Because when you look at that jury conference, nobody seemed that passionate about it except for who, and yes, shall we? And Pedro
Dave, you're breaking up again.
was also some very
Dave.
nice things, but it's
Dave.
so obvious in his heart
Dave.
with Campillo. So then I look.
Dave, I love that you keep talking, even though
Jury,
we
and I
can't hear
think
you,
that-
and I'm
I
telling
don't
you to
think
stop
he
talking.
knows you're talking to him.
Oh,
I'm
you can't
He's
see my
breaking
rant.
up. We are breaking up for him as well. So he's not hearing you tell him to stop talking.
That's fine.
This is hilarious. I love it, though. I love it.
Don't edit it. Just put it online.
There's no way to edit around this.
That's fine.
It's fine. It's fine. But no, to jump off what Júlia said, because I had read the same thing, is that there was, the potential for Ramsey to be a Palme winner, and then she would actually be only the second female Palme director winner in the festival's history, the same way that now Coppola is only the second female director to win director. But yeah, the way that the awards played out was really odd and unpredictable. And I think a lot of the times this, trying to predict the awards at this festival are very, very difficult as it is. But yeah, the fact that everybody had pegged 120 beats per minute to win, and then when Pedro Almodovar called it for the Grand Prix and was visibly really shaken about it, it was clear that what had happened was not his choice. And then his remarks in the press conference was that it's a democratic choice, even solidified that. So then I look at the jury and I'm like, where did people fall on all sides of this? And it's kind of shocking. But we totally got away from the Beguiled, by the way. That's where we were supposed to.
No, and I was trying to get back to that, but then you're like, we can't hear you. Can you hear me now?
Sort of. It's like you're fine.
Now?
Yeah, it's like you're fine for a minute, and then you go on your 2 minutes of description, and where Júlia and I are sitting here just going, okay, we're gonna have a side conversation.
That is so ratchet.
I don't know if it's your connection. I don't know what it is, but hopefully as everyone's listening, they can glean something from it. I think it'll be just fine.
I mean, just put it on the description that we are doing it as an homage to David Lynch, and then we pretend it's on purpose.
I think that's a brilliant idea. So let's chat about the
And
Beguiled.
sorry, what was that idea? Because I didn't hear all of it.
See, there we go. Oh, this is sad. Um, Dave, can you talk a little bit about the Beguiled in just 1 minute? Just give me. I just want to mention that it's coming out next month. It's Focus Features. It's a great counter programming to a lot of summer movies. But does it actually have a chance, to carry on through the summer and the fall and have any kind of contention? It's a great looking movie. Visually, it's really pretty stunning. Obviously, it has Nicole Kidman in it again, so that's a good thing. But what is your
So
your
that
thought on that?
Well, can you hear me for starters?
Sort of. Just make short comments.
Okay. It's basically establishing shots of the movie, so it gets a cinematography nomination. Oh,
Okay.
I also really think that I haven't been keeping up with the Oscar race as much as some of y'all do. How is adapted screenplay looking right now?
Let's see. It's kind of open, really. It's got like Call Me by Your Name,
So
Lean on Pete, Last Flag Flying, Wonderstruck, Mudbound, and from there it's really, really open.
Do we know if Sacred Deer is going to be considered original or adapted?
That's a really good question because we're not going to have the Writers Guild, I don't think, to rely on since they had disqualified The Lobster, so he's not going to be in consideration there. But that's a really good question.
Yeah.
Because I think
Because it's very loosely inspired by Euripides, and
Yeah.
so who knows if they're going to consider that like a direct adaptation.
It doesn't seem like it's
stretched.
Yes, yeah. It doesn't seem like it's going to be enough to do that.
Yeah. Oh, well, okay. So with the killing of a sacred deer out of its way, who knows? Maybe adapted screenplay is within reach. Sorry. The Beguiled winning Best Director, though, like that's the award that made the most sense for this film, I think, and it did win. And of course, the fact that she is a female filmmaker helps, and there hasn't been another female director nominated since Bigelow won it for 2009 for The Hurt Locker. So, like, it could be time for somebody else to be nominated again. And Sofia Coppola would be the first person ever to be nominated for 2 Best Director Oscars, right?
The first woman, yes.
Yeah, she could be the first woman, and that could be a talking point, like that would give her a little bit of a narrative there, earn some support. And there's a lot more female filmmakers in the Academy's directors branch now.
Yes.
Who knows? Maybe regardless of how much they like it, they could just rally behind it to make a statement that female filmmakers deserve to be recognized as much as male ones
but
do.
at the same time, we already have Catherine Bigelow.
Yep, exactly.
And if Detroit's good.
Time that somebody got a second nomination.
But how
true.
How
and
great,
she should the first double nominee.
How great would it be though if they both did?
Oh, please.
That would be really impressive.
Well, remember 2009, we thought there are going to be 3 female directors nominated, when at one point everybody thought that Catherine Bigelow.
God.
I know. Everyone was thinking it would be Catherine Bigelow, Lone Scherfig, and Jane Campion. Those were the days, weren't they?
I mean, really. We were so young. So naive.
It's so naive.
That was a lot of Abby Cornish of shit happening.
Oh
It's
my
all Abby Cornish's fault.
God.
If it were Nicole Kidman there, she would have gotten the nomination.
Exactly.
Or not, because she was in a dark place back then.
Okay. So
Did I
Anyway.
read something correct this year?
did you what?
Did I read correctly that Nicole? Did I read correctly that Nicole Kidman has said she's made a vow to work with a female filmmaker every year and a half?
Yes, she did.
And once again, like, this is another. She does. Yeah, this is one of the things that I really like about her these days, that she does do that. And like, people give my fave Meryl shit all the time, but she also works with a lot of female
Look, Dave,
filmmakers.
I love Meryl. We were at the floor crying at her speech at the Golden Globes. But Philly Lloyd is not Sofia Coppola.
Yeah, that is true. There's no argument there. Oh, I think Dave's been talking this entire time.
It's probably for the best.
Oh, Dave.
He'll kill me for this comment.
I know. I can't wait for him to listen to it back and be like, what is this? What's happening? Dave.
Nicole
Stop,
Kidman
Dave,
works
stop. Dave,
with-
stop. Dave. We did not hear anything you said in the last 5 minutes. So
I know.
that was amazing. I kind of love it, actually. I feel terrible, but I love it. It's funny.
That's really great. I think, Jan. Oh, you didn't hear any of it?
No, nothing, Dave.
At all.
Nothing at all. Nothing. So there we go. So much for our inside can tea. My
Depressing.
goodness. Dave, it's all right. Just
Deep breaths, Dave.
let it go. I think he might be gone forever now. I'm a little worried. Poor Dave.
Really? You don't hear anything?
I just heard that.
You don't hear nothing?
No.
Hello.
The last thing we heard was you talking about your fave Meryl, and then nothing.
Yeah, that's right. As soon as you invoked Meryl Streep, the powers that be cut you off. And it wasn't me.
That would be when I cut up.
See, look at that. It's doing it again. It's clearly working against you. You poor thing. All right, that's okay. That's okay.
Oh, this is bad.
It is. It's all right though. It's all right.
This is so depressing.
I know, especially as
You
our
really
as our
don't hear anything?
No, we heard that. Ironically, it's only when
Oh,
you ask.
finally.
That's funny.
Oh,
I know.
only when what?
Only when you ask if we can
Here,
hear
why
you.
don't I send you? Why don't I send you my
Okay.
thoughts and you read them?
What? Oh my God.
Okay. He wants us to read his thoughts.
Oh my God. This is amazing. This is amazing.
I think we should.
I think we should too. So that's what we're gonna
We
do.
should.
We're gonna translate. We're gonna translate Dave's thoughts. I love it. Okay, so Dave, what is it that you want? Do you want me to ask you a question? Let's. Well, we just kind of talked about that. We talked
Yes.
about.
I want you to ask me a question, Eric.
Oh my God, this is. I love how this is turning. Oh God, what else do we have? Meyerowitz stories. I don't really care about. I don't think that's anything. Let's talk just a teensy bit then about foreign language film. and just at least for right now, not taking into consideration eligibility dates and submissions and stuff yet, because a lot can change between now and then. But Dave, looking at the list of foreign language films, what do you think have the most chance of being the choices for those countries and being submitted? So right now, Dave is typing out his thoughts, and Júlia is going to read them out. And it's all happening, people. It's all happening. So thank you for listening. Okay, here we go.
Okay, so here we go. Well, The Square, Loveless, and BPM were the 3 films that won the top 3 choices of the jury. I'm still waiting for my next line.
Line, please.
And it could also be the ones in the Oscar race. Line. But seriously, I think that here Campillo has the edge.
This is great.
Campillo has by far the most emotional and accessible, and it has historical importance, which is...
That's true. Yeah, I mean, and for the record, the film is about the 90s era AIDS activism and ACT UP in France. That would be pretty great, actually, as the submission.
I could actually see it pulling a sweep of the televised foreign language film awards. And I don't know why my accent changed when I play Dave.
I'll just be your director and be like, Júlia, do it in a Meryl Streep accent.
Which one?
All of them.
This is Meryl Streep playing Dave as a Brazilian.
That's perfect. I don't think she's ever done a Brazilian accent.
No, she hasn't.
Well, here's
and
the
it's
debut.
surprisingly difficult. So anyway, Dave's back. And honestly, critics could be either here or there for it. They might want to support something that's more formless, though. But they all did give it great scores.
That sounds.
Lie?
Yeah. So my question then, follow up with this, is about Loveless, which was produced totally outside of the with any assistance from the Russian government. It's very has a negative slant towards Russia. So did Leviathan, but this apparently even more. I know you didn't like the film, David, but what are your thoughts on Russia actually picking it, especially in the current political climate?
No, I did not like it. Typing sounds.
Typing sounds. Uh-oh.
That's the best podcast.
There's a lot. It sounds like there's a lot coming. Oh, okay. Júlia?
I think.
I'm talking now. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we heard that.
Breaking up, yeah. But
try it again. Try
Lord.
this. Go ahead and say.
Try reading your last line. I
think that it could be one.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
I think that it could be a film that's.
We are back.
It's not working.
It's okay. It just breaks up almost immediately. And besides, this is more fun. But okay, so
typing, darling. I did the talking.
Yes, but what he had said was that it suffers from negative female dialogue in the film.
Yes.
But I mean, is that going to matter much in terms of Russia picking it? Is what I mean. Because people were kind of on the fence whether Leviathan.
Women are gold diggers.
Women
Eric.
are gold diggers, though. Yes.
And I had to do that because it's in all caps.
It is in all caps, and I believe.
So this is my actress in here. Okay.
Yes.
It's like Meryl Streep on her Oscar scene. Women are gold diggers, Eric.
This is Meryl Streep trying to win a Grammy by reading the podcast.
No, don't they have like a award for podcasts like Smarmy, Swarmy, whatever it's with an S?
Oh my gosh, I have no idea.
Yeah, they have it. I'm sure Meryl Streep would have one if she were to be at Award Watch podcast. Meryl, we are available if you're so inclined.
Absolutely. Okay, Julia, there's more for you to read.
Okay, yes, I'm going back to character after my big scene. The energy is low right now, but well, it might be something that could be successful for Russia. Russia, what is that?
Russia.
Russia. Do they have anything else though? I mean, it's still early, of course. Who knows if something else is going to come along? But I don't know if it is something that really is in the wheelhouse of the Foreign Language Film Committee.
True. There you go. I think that says a lot right there.
Yeah. And I mean, this is me speaking, but honestly, they don't really care if they don't want to send it, like for a political reason or something. They're just gonna send a random dump and call it a year.
Yeah. So the next question I have is actually about the square, and there's just a lot of chatter about the amount of English that's spoken in the film, and so I just am curious, Dave, what your thoughts on that are.
Dave wants for you to try to remove him from this conversation and add him back up.
I guess. So Dave says that the square is almost entirely in Swedish. Although it's really funny because the one clip that's available is the one with Elizabeth Moss, and it's all in English. So, and there we go. Yeah. Okay, that's cool. Well, I suppose I can try and dump Dave and re-add him. But we've also covered quite a bit at this point, and this is exactly where I wanted us to be. And Dave also says that he thinks the square could do very well in the foreign language film race. I do too, especially after Force Majeure was oh so snubbed. I agree. I think that's entirely possible.
Line. True.
This is a very long true from Dave. Yes. Poor Dave. Dave, I'm so sorry that you have crappy internet or whatever it is, but it's so much. It's sad.
I mean, I have decent internet, and I'm in Brazil. I don't know what you have to complain. You're in Canada.
I know. I just this is like it's the return to the Oscar podcast, and it is like being underwater. It's so funny. Oh well, it's what we have.
In the last podcast I did with you, my internet wasn't so bad, was it?
No, it wasn't at all. It was nothing like this.
Maybe it's just like a random issue today.
That's all right. It's
I think this podcast embodies what Awards Watch is. I mean, we have the knowledge, but we are a mess. I mean, we are.
Yeah. Okay, that I can't deny.
Yeah, it's very apt.
That's
very,
true.
Very apt.
That's true. We have the skills, we just don't know what to do with them. Something like that. I don't know. Yeah. Well.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, basically. All right. Well, I mean, honestly, I think that
here it's a big conspiracy for the rest of the world to be able to keep me from realizing my potential.
Yes, of course.
We could just start a GoFundMe so that Dave can get like a better computer or internet or something like that. Maybe that would be worthwhile. Because it sounds like you're like on the roof like of a building with like a little antenna trying to get like internet waves pulled out of the sky. That's kind of what it's like. It's all good. I had fun, as long as you had some fun doing this.
I did have fun. Do you think people will have any fun listening to this?
I hope so. If they're here at this point, then yes, then they have. And it's short. It's only been an hour and 15 minutes.
We are gold diggers, Dave. I mean, this sound bites.
Yeah,
this totally worth it.
Yeah, this isn't a 3-hour podcast, so. But so I think that's actually a good point to wrap up, because we can just get this out and let people decide for themselves. And I promise that we will be doing more regular podcasts and not this horrific 2-month gap. But things happen, you know. People's schedules get in the way, and it just
sore throats.
It happens. So that's life.
But I mean, we can't really turn off without talking about the special award, can we? Because that's a mess in itself.
It's not a mess. It's not a mess.
Awards watch reaction to it.
I know. I was almost going to avoid it, because I mean, there's already.
We have to.
There's already.
We don't shy away from controversy here, Eric.
I know. There's already so much shade against us for
how much
seriously,
I think I need to say this, and you don't have to say anything about it if you don't want to.
Okay.
But I think we have to address it. So here's the thing, and I have written about it at the camp thread, but I think we should address it. We don't know which award came first. We don't know if they decided that Kidman was getting the special award, and then they had to give Best Actress to someone else, or if they decided that Diane Kruger would win Best Actress, and then after that they wanted to give Kidman something for this huge year she had at Cannes. And quite honestly, I don't think it matters. I think that for what it is, the final result is what should have happened. I think where Kidman is right now at her career, getting a Best Actress award at Cannes would have been great, but it's not something that she needs. She doesn't need validation in her career anymore. And for her to go to Cannes and present 4 totally different products, not films, but products, and receive very good reviews for all of them, getting something like a recognition of her entire body of work means a lot more than a Best Actress award. And that does not at all take away the merit of Diane Kruger and her getting the actual Best Actress award.
Yeah, I agree. And I'll speak for Dave.
Oh yeah. Yeah, do Dave, because I think that's a very good observation.
The jury did not see top of the lake.
Yes. That what we're talking
but
about.
But I don't think it matters, because for an award like this, the narrative means a lot more than what the jury actually saw, and they knew what was going on at Cannes, so they liked both of her movies most likely because they did give her the award, but they do know that she was there for 4 different things, and I think that counts.
And it's pretty clear, because what we saw was something pretty unusual this year, and that's that we know who's getting called back. They're on the red carpet, so we're like, okay, there's 6 films represented, and 7 people on the red carpet. So we start deducing from that pretty quickly and pretty immediately. Yet Sofia Coppola was not there. Nicole Kidman was not there. So these decisions seem to have happened in a bubble that seems very, very last minute. So I have to imagine that there was a lot of conversation within this jury about where to spread these awards out. And Dave mentions that they started deliberating at 10 in the morning that day.
And Kidman was in Nashville, so even if her award was the first one they decided to give, she wouldn't have made it back to Cannes in time. So.
Yeah. But it is kind of unusual for people to be away. But not everybody can stay there for the entire 2 weeks, just waiting to hear if they're gonna have to stay one more day. I mean, nobody wants to stay there for 13 days and just to get a call back. Yeah, you didn't get anything. Bye.
Yeah, consider Kawasi.
Consider Kawasi all the time, every year. So yeah. So okay. It's kind of amazing that I was gonna just bypass talking about Kidman's 70th anniversary prize.
Dave wants everyone to know that Kawasi is happy to be there no matter what.
That's not true.
Sure.
That is not true. There's nobody as thirsty.
Masterpiece was ignored by Ken.
The only person more can thirsty than Kawase is Dolong. So there we go.
Dave, you can't make fun of our amazingly flawless pronunciations. Okay?
My pronunciation is perfect. Always. But anyway, let's go back to Nicole Kidman. So, let's go back to Nicole Kidman. Yes. Oh my God. That's a typo, not a read. That's awesome. That's funny. But yes, Júlia, I agree with you that even though the jury itself would not have necessarily seen Kidman's out of competition projects, there is most certainly a narrative there that made the most sense, because she is supporting in both of her in competition films versus, as we mentioned, this true, real female lead. So I don't begrudge Kruger's win because it makes a lot of sense. Although they've given supporting players wins all the time. Julianne Moore was supporting, and she won.
The woman who stole Sonia Braga's Cannes Award last year, whatever her name was.
For Monrosa.
Joseline something.
Yeah, Jacqueline Jose.
Jacqueline, yeah.
Yeah. So it happens a lot. And I think some people were thinking, and I was one of them.
Oh, Dave has an interesting take. That Dave says that this is also a statement, because this is a year that Black female roles in lead, with the exception of the Diane Kruger role.
Yes,
and he might have a point there.
That's absolutely true. Which is why I thought maybe they would do like the entire female cast of the Beguiled winning actress the way that Voltaire did. And with Almodovar as the jury president, it would have been kind of funny for that to happen, and I think a little too on the nose for that to happen. But it was certainly, I think, a possibility. But Kruger winning makes a lot of sense for exactly the reason that Tate mentioned. Is that lack of lead female roles.
Oh, Dave says, if Nicole won a second Trifecta Award for an ensemble film, that would have been really funny, because she won the Berlin Award for The Hours with Meryl and Julianne.
Yes, that's right. That is true. She needs to win more things on her own. I was just talking to Evan, to Gold Rush gang member Evan Cost, about this before the podcast, and that's that, despite the fact that Kidman has an Oscar, she has not gotten any major solo critical wins. Like her main critics win was from Boston. And so she hasn't really had, anything other than that. She has 9 SAG nominations and no wins. She has a tremendous amount of goodwill and a lot of, like you said, narrative right now to change all of that. And Dave says, and I agree, that Sacred Deer could be a real critical player for her.
And
I
the
think it
Beguiled
will.
helps as well because she might get double mentions.
Yeah, you can look at
In
National Society of Film Critics or NBR, and they do doubles all the time. But it does seem like Sacred Deer would be her awards play over the Beguiled. Realistically.
oh yeah,
Anyway. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to just a total domination by Nicole Kidman this year. It starts with the Emmys and then it just goes all the way through the season. So, and a SAG award would be nice. She has nine. She has 9 nominations. So.
oh yeah. Dave says she could be their highbrow option because the supporting race looks basic this year, and it does, with the exception of legend Elson Janney, who's coming from the moon. Get out of here. But seriously, I think that in some ways she is the highbrow option, but on the other hand, she has had such a resurgence lately with the big public. She told Ellen she's finally being recognized in airports, which is hilarious for me. Like Nicole Kidman.
I know.
And now she's famous. But I mean, yeah, that could definitely spill over.
Well, I mean, Nicole Kidman has not ever been, a box office name, so it's understandable in those terms.
Yeah, and she hasn't in a long time as well. Like her last big success was what, 10 years ago, maybe more.
What, box office success?
Yeah, or even
Paddington kind of was.
I mean.
But no,
Lion, but I mean.
But realistically, yes, Lion was actually really successful. So there's no way to dismiss that, and that's where her comeback started.
Not really her vehicle, that's my point. Like the last time she was in a big hit where she was the lead.
Well, I'm sorry, Miss Julia, but it was Kidman that got the nomination and nobody else. So I'm just gonna
in supporting.
Say. So, how dare you? How dare you? Dismissing supporting nominations as lesser.
No, seriously though. I think she was great in that movie. She deserved the nomination. I cried my bejesus out of me with that movie. I was with some Awards Watch members. I was dehydrated after that movie. But it's not as if it was a hit because of her.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that it's part of the narrative.
Yeah, I was the same.
That was creative. Yeah. Yeah.
When I watched, yeah, it's true. I forgot about that.
Oh, poor Dave.
But
Yeah.
anyway.
We heard that, Dave. Yay.
Yes.
Dave comes through. Dave comes through.
Then I'll just pepper it with a yes.
Yeah. That's perfect. That's perfect. I love it. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Good. Perfect. Is that enough Nicole Kidman talk, Julia? Is it? Even though I could have an entire podcast. I could have an entire podcast that's Nicole Kidman. So.
Yeah.
I could always.
There's never enough Nicole Kidman, but yeah, that should be enough. I mean, we can't make it too long or people will get tired of our shtick.
Yes, I already get enough shit for just being so Kidman-centric, and I'm like, you know what? Screw you. She's amazing. You just need to recognize. But yeah.
Yeah, Kidman.
See? There you go.
This year is really something. It really has. It really has been the best year for her since the early 2000s.
Oh, by far. By far. She's doing great
for sure.
work. She seems very happy about the work that she's doing, and I'm stoked for her. I'm super happy for her.
Yeah,
Yay.
and I think that there is something to the speculation that some people have made that this will help her to do even more daring roles in the future, and I really hope that happens for all of our sake.
I agree. I totally agree.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, her next movie is what? Aquaman? So you better go back to those outdoors, girl.
She's just doing
What the hell
exactly.
is Aquaman? I don't know what that is.
She's doing the superhero Aquaman movie. She's playing like his mother.
Yeah, the DC movie.
Which, yeah, I'm like, okay.
She is the mother of what's the guy name?
Jason Momoa.
Yes.
Is she already?
Jason Momoa's mom.
That's insane. I don't even know.
That's such an Eva Marie Saint thing to do. Like,
I don't even know how that happened. Eva Marie saying, bitch. No. I will never.
But I mean, it's a thing right now.
I will never
I mean,
begrudge.
Blanchett's doing Thor.
I will never begrudge an actor for doing fluff like that for a huge paycheck so that they can do 5 movies and work for like scale.
Yeah,
For
but
sure.
quite honestly, I doubt she's getting a big paycheck. That's the weird thing. Because the business model of these movies, I mean, their lead actors are like Gal Gadot and Ben Affleck and what's the guy name who has the charisma of a paper sheet?
Henry
Whoever's
Cavill.
doing Superman. Yes, that one.
Oh, that's terrible.
I mean,
Poor him.
yeah, and I mean, it's not my fault that he can't act. He looks great as Superman, but anyway, it's not.
This is just
It's not
going,
the point
this
here.
is going crazy. I'm just actually I'm a little surprised that Kidman is doing this after her Batman, experience. She hasn't really done anything like that. But again, she's just.
And didn't they want her?
Was she getting
for
any
Wonder
calls
Woman?
for that though?
What's that?
Was she getting any calls for that?
I don't know what you're talking about. I think she's just.
Type, Dave.
Maybe-
Type.
She's
Maybe
just.
she got no calls for these big projects.
Oh, I'm gonna hang up on you so fast.
No, but seriously, they wanted her for the Wonder Woman movie,
Yeah, but I mean,
and
Yeah.
she didn't accept that. Yeah, and then she passed on that take on Aquaman for whatever reason. Oh, Nicole.
I think it's fine.
But she probably signed.
She's just doing diversity within her projects and within her job. I mean, my God, how can you begrudge that? It's not
Maybe
like
she
that's
also
all she's
wants to
doing.
do a film that her kids can see as well.
Exactly.
That's what Paddington's for.
Yes, and that was
She's
a while
doing
ago.
Paddington 2.
Yeah.
No, there's this.
So they can only
one,
see
isn't
one
there?
movie with her in their lifetime, in their childhood.
Wait, she's in the Paddington sequel? Oh
I
my-
don't know. Maybe.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
But I didn't look at the I didn't look
she
at the
should.
teaser. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just speculating. But you know what? I won't complain. You do you, Nicole. You go do those DC awful movies.
Oh my God. Yeah, I don't
You'll be
think it's gonna be any good. I mean, I'm glad Wonder Woman is good, but she would have been
When does-
great.
Yeah,
She would have been
Aquaman
like
come
so.
out?
She would have been so much better as Diana.
When does
as,
Aquaman come
as
out?
Wonder Woman's mother? I think that's the role she should have picked
Yeah.
instead of Connie Nielsen or whatever.
Or her aunt. Her aunt ended up being
Robin Wright.
Robin Wright.
No,
Yeah.
that's a good choice.
That
That's a
could-
really good choice. Aquaman hasn't even like started shooting yet, so.
No. Yes, they have.
Did it?
Yeah.
So
no,
is it
Aquaman
28?
is
Is it next
shooting
year?
right now.
Oh my God.
Yeah, 2008. December.
Oh, it's coming out December of next year. Wow.
Yeah. Like.
Yeah, like
close
Dave,
to
Dave
Christmas.
says, keep that out of 2017. That's true. That's true.
That is a very good.
Although it's kind of amazing. I always love it on IMDb where it's like the credited cast sorted by star meter, and it's like Amber Heard, Nicole Kidman. I'm like, how is Amber Heard ahead of Nicole Kidman? Are you kidding me?
Hey, at least Nicole Kidman's ahead of Jason Momoa.
Yeah, but that kind of makes sense.
No, but Amber Heard has the whole. No, because Amber Heard has the whole Johnny Depp thing.
Yes.
So people are supporting her and checking out IMDb
And
page.
if it hadn't been for
Because the star
Johnny
meter
Depp,
has to do
nobody
with
would have
how
ever heard of her. So who cares?
True.
I'm gonna edit it and I'm gonna put Nicole Kidman on top.
I think we should get everyone at Awards Watch to access the Nicole Kidman IMDb page at the same time, so her star meter will rise.
Oh God,
she will
should we
above
talk
her.
about that, because that kind of started making some circulations. That was because it was not me.
No. You know who it is. I told you.
Yes, I know who changed that Wikipedia page, but it was not me.
And it's not whoever you guys think it is. I mean, at all. It's not someone who has ever posted at the Nicole Kidman thread.
No, it's not some
So you have an idea.
some obvious Nicole Kidman stan. It was just, somebody else and just trying to be really funny, and it was actually
Random,
really
yeah.
funny. It was really funny.
And then people kept milking it, as it always happens.
I know. It does happen.
Oh, who would you like to know, Dave? That's for us to know, and you guys to never find out.
I know.
Unless the person tells.
Yes. That's a secret that will stay a secret. So.
Yeah.
Okay, we are at an hour and a half.
Okay, yeah.
So I think now that we have talked for 20 minutes about Nicole Kidman, which is a very fair and decent amount.
Absolutely.
Then yes, I think we can wrap up. Julia, thank you so much for joining me once again. Dave, Helen Keller, Acacia, thank you so much for participating in as much as
Oh my God, Anna Paquin played Dave
as much
his
as
biopic.
Dave would be amazing as Helen Keller. So I'm just gonna say. But yes,
Yes,
I'm
he
really glad. This is we're kicking off the new Oscar season with this messy ass podcast, and that's just the way it is. Too bad. All right, but for people that are still listening, God bless you for one. Don't forget to come to awardswatch.com and check out our predictions. It is May 30th right now, so in just a few short days we will have the official June Oscar predictions up, and they're going to be wildly different than May. The Cannes Film Festival has changed a lot of minds, and you'll see exactly why. Or you can go right now and get a sneak peek. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at awards_watch, and Instagram and Facebook and all those really awesome fun things. And Dave, where can we follow you on Twitter, or can I just tell them?
It's I'm gonna try and type it. Can you hear me?
Hi.
Well, no, I know what it is. I just didn't know
Just
if you'd be
type,
able
honey.
to pull it in. Yeah. It's _the lightbox. That is Dave's Twitter. Which
_lightbox.
Yes,
Don't forget
which-
the second underscore.
Yes, which thankfully is all in print, so you can actually read Dave's thoughts. So that works for everybody.
Shade.
It's not shade.
Yeah.
It's just true.
Oh my lord.
All right. So
Like, that was savage. Like,
It
this
was-
whole thing was just like,
it was a big ruse to get you on to drag you down. No, absolutely not. We would only do that to like Abby Cornish. So.
Who?
Exactly. Oh my goodness. All right. Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Julia. Thank you, everybody,
Thank
for
you.
listening. Bless you.
Thank you.
Look.